Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, to Just Smell Better channel. My name is Oscar. I love collecting fragrances, so I love talking about it too. Right now we are on a mission to 2,000 subscribers, so if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, please consider subscribing. Today we're going to be talking about the basic knowledge if you're gonna buy your first fragrance, if you're barely getting into the hobby of collecting fragrances, which is a very expensive hobby. Then you're gonna need a little guide to know what colognes to buy, what colognes to avoid, where to buy them. So without further ado, this video is gonna serve as a little guide for my beginners out there so that you can choose wisely and not waste your money like I did. First up, when it comes to buying your first cologne, you need to think about your age. I know people say age is just a number, but those people are weird. Like, even in colognes, your age matters a lot. Let's say you're a young guy who is just looking for compliments for school, for dates, you know, the girls. If you're a young guy, you can pull off something like Versace Eros. This cologne's a little bit more youthful. It has that youthful vibe. It's just sweet and sexy. But if you're kind of in the middle, like in your 20s or some shit, something good is Prada L'Homme. You don't gotta be old, you don't gotta be young. This can be pulled off by anyone. So if you're a young guy who wants a good professional smelling cologne that won't offend anyone in school, Prada L'Homme is a good example. And if you're an older guy who wants to impress like his boss, he wants a cologne for the office, then Prada L'Homme will also fulfill that role perfectly. Now, if you're an older guy, more like in your 30s or 40s, there's way more masculine scents out there, like Dior Homme line. Like I got Dior Homme Sport, and that shit's like masculine. And I know Dior Homme Intense is like way more masculine. Even Dior Fahrenheit, that's like for old people, like, you know what I mean? So definitely take your age into consideration. And something else that comes with age, you need to consider your budget, you know? I know we hype up fragrances and we like kind of put it on a pedestal, but it's just materialistic things. Like, let's be honest, focus on your needs first. Be financially responsible, right? But we all got different budgets. If you're in a privileged country like America, the UK, like, be grateful first of all. Just set yourself a budget so that you don't go overboard and spend a lot of money on scented water. So if you're on a smaller budget, I'm always gonna recommend things like Club de Nuit Intense Man. This is a $30 cologne fragrance of Creed Abentis, one of the most popular fragrances in the world, probably thanks to Jeremy Fragrance. There's these brands called cologne brands, basically like La Tafas or Moth is like a huge one. They basically clone really popular colognes out there, and you can barely tell the difference, honestly. So don't be ashamed to own a cologne. We're not rich, bro. Like, we gotta work with what we got, you know. But if you do have a little bit more money to spend on, don't be afraid to go into the high designers like the Bleu de Chanel's, the Dior. But don't be afraid to go into niche. Like, for example, Parfums de Marly is a great niche house. I love Percival, Layton, and even I love Carlisle. PDM, this is an amazing beginner niche house that a lot of people are going to love. It's like mass appealing, so you're not gonna waste your money on a lot of these niche fragrances. So definitely consider your budget and don't spend what you don't have. Don't go into debt. That shit's not worth it. So don't be afraid to buy clones either. That's my take on clones. So building from that, from the budget segment, definitely know where you are buying from. Let me tell you guys about retail. Like, never buy retail. Jomo Shop is the best discounter that I found for right now. If you know any better ones, please let me know, because I want to save money. They got so many options. They got niche, they got designers, they got clones. So yeah, retail is the biggest scam. The perfect example for that is go look on Macy's or Sephora. Go look for Versace Perone. Not even lying, that shit's close to $100. I'm sure at some pages it's like $110. Versace Perone, I paid like $30 for this Versace Perone, bro. And I know it is a smaller bottle, but even the bigger bottles, it was like 40. You can go on Sephora to smell the samples, but just put it back and go buy on fucking Jomo Shop, bro. I don't care if I lose like sponsors from Macy's or that shit. Fuck retail, buy discounters. Always buy discounters. Now, talking about discounters and cheap prices, let's talk about the forbidden TikTok shop. I get the point that it is cheap and it is convenient to a lot of people, and it's giving people a lot of opportunities, especially on our niche, the fragrance niche, the fragrance community on TikTok. They love hyping up fragrances and selling them on TikTok. So if they hype up something shit like Lattafa Quad Alpha Sun and I buy it, they get a percentage. But they're lying and hyping it up, saying this is the best fragrance ever, and they got like 20 compliments and a girl jumped into their bed, and like that shit didn't happen, and this shit smells like ass, and now I bought it and I wasted my money and I fell for their marketing, and they got a little commission. But there's definitely some good deals on TikTok. For example, Lattafa Cambra. Lattafa Cambra is an amazing cologne of Angel Share. It's so good. It's like booziness and cinnamon and vanilla. So good. So definitely be careful and do your own research before you buy from TikTok. And just be aware that these creators might be overhyping to get a little bit of commission, you know? So they definitely lost their integrity. And the fifth thing that I think you should know is just know that fragrances are meant for different seasons. You know, they're built to perform the best in different seasons. I talked about Versace Pour Homme. This shit is meant to work best in the summer, in the spring, in the high heat. You know, if you want to take a date night fragrance to impress a girl, which is I know what a lot of people get colognes to get, I'm gonna raise my hand. I get fragrances to impress girls, and now that I have a girl, I wear my fragrances to smell good for her, you know? Let's talk about Invictus Victory Elixir. This is gonna be an amazing date night fragrance for winter when it's cold outside. The reason it is perfect for winter is because it has a blast of vanilla, and that strong vanilla is so sweet, so intoxicating that it works really well in the winter because you're not gonna get basically like choked out with the high heat and then the vanilla. Like that combination is not it. Usually like the sweeter or darker notes, they work better for winter. So let's say you still want to go on a date, you want a perfect date night fragrance, and it's fall. Maybe try something like Jean Paul Gaultier Le Mel Le Parfum. It still has a little bit of vanilla and that sexy sweetness, but it's a little bit, you know, toned down. So this one would work really well for fall when it's not too cold and not too hot. And let's say you're in summer and you want a date night fragrance, I'm gonna just go back to Percival because it's right here. It has that like ambroxan and a little bit of citruses and that lavender, which works amazing for the summer because it's like so strong and citrusy and fresh that it breaks through the hot. It works really well with your body heat and it smells really good. Definitely keep in mind the notes. I recommend doing a little bit of research. Go on Fragrantica. Just look at the notes. Look at the projection in the performance bars. You'll see it on the screen. Find out what scents you like and if they're gonna perform well for the occasion that you want them to perform in. So that was my little guide, you know, explaining different things. If you enjoyed or learned something from the video, consider subscribing. We're on the road to 2K. Thank you for watching. Just smell better.